this is going. That guy is so hard to get going with something. Whenever you get with this guy, you can't stop talking. This guy, this is like him in reality. I'm going to tell you right now to start this out, right? You want to start it? Say it. And I'm going to tell you a story about this guy. You can't stop talking.
All right. So this pinball machine is just going to keep going. Anyway, I'm your host. I'm all blown out. I'm Dan Crozier with COFOH Live and Undead. And I'm here with Beau Scott, the bounty hunter, and Ryan Policky, both of HorrorHouse Fest. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
the pinball machine stopped.
Yeah, so I want to tell you this guy here.
Right.
Okay, so when we get to Chicago, because we did HorrorHouse Fest out in Chicago here just like in October.
Right.
He's the first person that we see after we just broke down. Our truck broke down.
Yeah.
Our trailer broke down. And the first person we see when we go in here is this guy who's talking in that game.
No kidding.
And I've never met this guy before. He also is in this other game that we have called Punchy the Clown that we had in HorrorHouse Fest as well.
Wow,
the clown room.
Don't remember that one.
But this guy, seriously, like we are about to kill each other. It was a nightmare trying to get out there.
Okay.
And we're just like, will you just stop talking? It was like 2 hours of him like reciting an entire movie after meeting me, and he wouldn't stop. And it was just like, oh my God, I'm going insane. I need to just go build a HorrorHouse Fest. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's to start this whole thing. I just want to explain why that guy can't stop talking.
Okay. That's a pretty good explanation. Oh man,
top. Sorry.
So Ryan, we've had you on before. Like I think you were our first official broadcast.
Oh.
You weren't our first official interview, but our first official broadcast.
Oh.
Yeah. Hats off.
I can't.
But yeah, you and a couple other filmmakers that we had at the time, and now we got you back. You and Beau. To talk about, you always got to stand up.
Yeah, stand up. I want you to read my shirt too. So.
Oh yeah, what does it say?
I don't know. What do you think? It's like a death metal thing.
Hauntcade. It says Hauntcade, just like the sign over Beau's shoulder.
Yeah.
And
that
one. Well, this one, just point at the two. Just point at the two. But what is HorrorHouse Fest?
What is it?
What is it?
It's a haunted house with a gaming tournament in it.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
So whatever games we decide makes sense for the HorrorHouse Fest is what it becomes.
Okay.
So each environment has a game of some sort that you have to get a high score on. But there's also a story, so you better pay attention to what's going on in this place. Okay, so each one of these HorrorHouse Fests have had some sort of story to them for the whole thing. Yeah. So there's a reason why these rooms are there and all that kind of thing. And this one is definitely that way because it's our home territory, this one that's about to come up. So it's like, it's in a little library. We were like, haunted libraries are in this year. Let's do it. They're hot.
Very Scooby.
They're very, very, very good. It's like 80s. For like a party, like you want to have like a party in a library, an 80s library.
Nice, yeah, very Ghostbusters then.
Right, exactly. Right. See,
nice.
You'll never forget the Ghostbusters library.
That's
what
opening
this
shot
looks like. So it's perfect.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So, so tell us a little bit more about this event that you're doing. Where is it? When is it? How can people, go find it, buy tickets? All that jazz.
Right. Well, it's at Mutiny Information Cafe in Denver, Colorado. And if you haven't been there, it's a super awesome place. Yeah. You've been there many times, so you've seen it there.
Yeah.
So you already know what it is. It's a library, but it's not a library. It's a bookstore. But it looks like a library.
Best bookstore
ever because it has comics, it's got music, it's got coffee, it's got pinball machines. I have a bunch of pinball machines there, so all those games are mine in there. And I have been constantly rotating them out. Mm-hmm. And now with Beau's help, who is a business partner in Bloodshed Death Bath, LLC, we have been kind of being operators sort of there, but also very involved with the community that goes through there.
Right.
So it's cool to be able to do one of these HorrorHouse Fests there because of the fact that, I mean, man, that's where I know the people.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you know, that's a cool thing, and all these people want to check it out and see what we've been making all this time if they haven't yet.
Right. No, that sounds absolutely amazing. And Mutiny Cafe, that's at 2 South Broadway,
Right.
Denver, Colorado. So, and you've been doing this for a few years. I know because I helped out for the first 1 or 2 years, something like that. And then Beau jumped in and he's like, "Fuck off, Dan. I'm better at this." And as he should, with a name like Beau Scott. He's going to sell you your own intestines because he's going to kill you. I don't know. It's a used car salesman, bounty hunter. It's like, it's day job, night job.
Yeah. That's why we got him.
That's right. You sound intimidating.
See, he already knows his Wikipedia.
Yeah.
That's
right. That's what we're going to do. That's what goes under your Wikipedia.
I just edited it like an hour ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It's more precise. It's cleaner.
Right.
The links work. That's
the links
good.
Are very good.
The photos are better. So you've been, like I said, you've been doing HorrorHouse Fest, for a few years now. And there's been a number of different iterations. What was the original vision?
Well, the original vision, as you know, because Dan helped try to find a venue for it and actually found us the venue.
Yeah.
And it became such a good contact in the process of hanging out with Jim and just doing stuff with Jim. And the original vision was it was going to be a film festival in a haunted house. So each room has a short film. The film is a certain length.
I remember that, yeah.
They're limited to like 5 minutes in length, and then you move on to the next room, right? So it's like kind of incorporating like interactivity and whatever this new thing that like the big guys are doing in town.
Right.
It's basically that. It's interactive theater for the most part.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to have characters that were actors, that were improv actors, and could just come up with crazy stuff on the fly.
Right.
Right. And just come up with this crazy night that people are like, "What happened there? That was crazy. I've never seen anything like that before." And that's kind of what it is. We just wanted to have something that nobody had seen before. It
sounds delightful, but then again, I should know I was there for the first couple of ones.
Yeah.
So
you're the alien in the first pinball one.
That was the second one we did, right?
Yeah, that's when it turned to pinball when it was like.
Yeah, I remember getting done up and all the makeup from Midian and Monster Makeup Effects and those guys, and they're off doing like Walking Dead now, I think, in Georgia.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they've done a bunch of stuff. Didn't they do?
They blew up
the Haunted Hill House or whatever
on Netflix. Yeah, they did that one too.
Yeah, they worked on that.
They've done a couple of films. There's one with I'm gonna butcher it. With Viggo Mortensen. Where he's
Car? Well, they worked on that too, though.
That was with Kevin Bacon, but yeah. The director of that now does Spider-Man. The Spider-Man movies.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I knew a bunch of people that were going and working on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the pinball machines want to chime in again.
I turned all the games on in the house for some reason. Like, it matters that they're on in that room. You can't even see it.
Yeah, you can't see it. It's just this abstract, sound that you might pick up a little bit. I don't know. Can you guys hear any of that on there? Out there in television land? The interwebs? All those streaming maniacs? Come on, Brett. I see you on there.
It's a cool song, though. It's kind of like Dario Argento style, kind of weird.
Dario Argento meets, Super Mario Brothers: A Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's pretty much what it is. So and if it's Dario Argento now, this has a better script.
Right, probably. And I don't even know what is going on in that game.
So
good luck. Good luck figuring that one out.
What is this game?
Spooky. It's called Spooky Pinball, and it was it's not the company that's also one of our sponsors. It was
got a little doggy poking her head up, in the frame.
Yeah, but here I'll tell you. But it's an Italian pinball company made this game called Spooky, and it was the very last game that they had made. They had made quite a few, probably like 30 or 40 games.
Nice.
And they shut down, and in the process they shut down, and they only made like 60 of these.
Yeah.
So I just happened to, now that I've been in the community of pinball, I have all these weirdos get a hold of me who have haunted pinball machines that are really rare.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you should check this game out. And then I want to buy it because it's a pinball machine, and pinball machines are sweet. So I always want to get it. And then I'm like, oh, man, and they only made like 8 of them. Why not? Who cares? So that's what that game is.
Okay.
So it's kind of a coveted game to some people, and to some people, who cares?
Yeah. Nice. What is it about pinball machines that you gravitate towards?
Pinball machines?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like when I was a little kid, I always wanted to play the marble games.
Okay, I
So
remember those.
anything that had a ball that would roll around on something, I'd be like,
Right.
oh man, that's awesome. They used to make those little roller coasters. Because
Right.
you make the little roller coaster things.
Dude,
And any game, like there was a game called Fireball Island.
Oh,
that
okay.
The ball would come down the
Yeah,
path and
I
knock
remember
people
that.
off and
Yeah.
stuff. And then like, God, I don't know. And I played bowling, and I was a golfer, and I just always been into these.
You
weird
like balls. You like balls.
But
I like
pinballs are the
shooting.
coolest because they're like some crazy fictional board game meets gaming thing, like shooting gallery. So it's like a shooting gallery meets board games.
Right, right.
And it's just crazy how addictive they can be when all you're really doing is shooting like, 8 things.
Right.
And that's it. Really. When you put it down to it, there might be a storyline, all this stuff in there, but it's just cool to just hit stuff and know that you're in control of just getting high scores somehow.
Nice.
So I don't know. Ever since I was a kid and I saw this game Haunted House, it's now over here.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw
I
it,
remember that.
when I saw it at a 7-Eleven or some weird store in the mountains, we were like up in the mountains, and like it was like I just fell into heaven.
Yeah.
Because I saw this game that was like a haunted house
No.
and an
No,
arcade thing. No, Serpy, get over here. She's trying to ruin
She's
our
trying to knock
broadcast.
over the laptop, the cheap laptop I use to broadcast this stuff.
Here, I can quickly do this and just keep talking to you about this.
Oh,
This
sure.
is just kind of social hour anyways, right?
Pretty much.
So we can do anything.
Turns into a conversation.
You just got to get this dog to not jump on everything. So you give
That's
her
right.
a treat and she's fine.
Weigh her down. Go to sleep
Weigh her down.
now.
Get over there.
Yeah,
Yes,
that thing's roofied, right?
Yes, it is.
Excellent.
Gosh. She goes through more food. This tiny dog that weighs 6 pounds.
Right.
She goes through a huge bag
Yeah.
of treats in like a week and a half.
Nice. Well, she's a poop factory. It's
I
nice. It's like, I need something to process, Papa.
Oh my God. It's
Nice
insane.
Yeah.
That's Slurpee. She's awesome. She's a little doggy of the house at the HorrorHouse Fest light, which
Nice.
is my house. I
Yeah.
basically am moving this entire house to Mutiny.
So for those of you guys out there, this is just one corner of the house. The whole house looks like this backdrop. It's basically just a haunted house that Ryan lives at. And we were talking earlier that he should make this into an Airbnb.
For horror fans.
Just needs to add a spooky bathroom down here, and you're set.
Yeah, it's like a spooky bathroom. So if you guys want to start contributing to my spooky bathroom, please get in touch with me on Facebook, and let's get started.
That's right. Hey, so Beau, how did you meet up with Ryan, and how did you get involved in all this?
Well, actually, I just live up the street from Ryan, so fate just kind of pushed us that way, and he needed help one year, and I was available, and I think he drank my Kool-Aid, and I said yes. It's been a blast.
Nice.
I think it's going to be my 4th or 5th one.
Wow.
I think
Nice.
it's something like that.
And it's
When was
getting
the
up
first
there.
one? Because your first one was at Vision.
2013.
Vision number
Yeah.
2, yeah.
So we've had this at so many different places. We've had it at Three Kings Tavern is where it
Right,
started,
right.
thanks to you. And then we moved it over to Vision Comics and Oddities down in Sheridan.
Go check them out.
And it was awesome because they gave us a whole, this huge area to build this
Right.
out.
I remember the basement.
So it was awesome. And they would give me weeks to build this thing.
Nice.
which was amazing.
Yeah. Chris is a fantastic guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we did it at Hyperspace because I always was at Hyperspace trying to get high scores.
Okay.
So I was like, why not build it here where I'm always playing these games
Right.
anyways? So we did it Hyperspace, but that was more pop-up style. We did it in like one night, and then we did it and took it out. And then we, after that, we started becoming this national thing, and we did it out in Chicago.
Nice. Good. That was
what we were talking about. Yeah, and that was really crazy.
Intense.
It was intense, but it was amazing because people loved it.
Good.
So, and
Nice.
we were able to be at the thing that Elvira releases her game at.
That's right. And you got the Elvira machine.
Yeah, we got it.
Her.
She signed it. I got the video of me with her like, oh yeah, this is amazing. Your game is almost named the same thing as my game. Your game is named the same thing as our haunted house almost.
Nice.
That's what I said to her.
What was it? What's it actually called?
Hers is called Elvira's House of Horrors.
The WH version?
No. House of Horrors.
Horrors.
And then ours is kind of funny on the play of words too because it's HorrorHouse Fest.
HorrorHouse Fest.
So it's kind of funny. It's like, what is that?
Right.
So I was like, that is so weird. Your game is named almost the same thing. That's crazy. I know.
You go in expecting a little Dolly, a little Burt Reynolds. No, you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
You're going to get a little Leatherface. A little bit of the female Cenobite from Hellraiser. That's it. That's as far as that goes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. But they still they both sing "Island in the Stream," even though that's a Kenny Rogers thing. But let's be fair, Burt Reynolds can't sing. We miss you, Burt.
You look weird though. You're all white. You're all like scary white man.
Duh, you're the one that did the lighting on me.
I didn't do it. You told me to keep it that way.
No, I didn't tell you to do anything.
Yeah.
You can adjust it.
You just adjust it. So
yeah, that's good.
now
I'm in the
shadow
shadow of your ass.
Okay, let's see.
All right.
How's that?
Hey, good.
That's
You
still
can
hot.
see my wrinkles.
He's still hot.
Good. I'm super
Okay,
hot.
now how's this?
Oh, that's better. That's better. That's
How's
better. I like that.
Oh, look at that. That's more
Look at that.
realistic.
What? I'm human.
I wanted
Kind
to fix it for you.
Look,
you guys
we
are
got all
awesome.
these hearts and stars.
You guys are awesome. We
thumbs
wanted to
going
do
up.
it for you.
Yeah. For $50, he'll take off his top.
Here's a crazy factoid.
3 nipples.
Okay, now stop it.
Okay.
Here's a crazy factoid. So we're at this Elvira thing, right?
Yeah.
She's like the featured guest of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And there's like nobody dressed up as Elvira.
Right.
She's not dressed up as Elvira. Nobody's dressed up as Elvira. There's this one girl who dressed as Bride of Pinbot Elvira, and that was cool. But nobody was dressed up as Elvira except for this guy. He's the only one there. He was the only one there that was dressed up as Elvira, and everybody's like taking pictures of him and stuff. And they're like all stoked. And she even took a picture with them, I guess.
Did you pull everything out or clean shaven?
I shaved and
yeah, makeup. I did the makeup. I did the makeup on him. I really was trying to make that look right.
To be fair, I thought that was like Tom Hoach or something like that.
No, that was from 2 years ago or 3 years ago when Tom did it.
Oh, okay.
At Vision, but he only did it for a short time because he got sick that night. But he was the most amazing Elvira I had ever seen.
He was sniffing his finger too much.
Oh my god. But he was hilarious. I always promote that picture of him as Elvira.
Yeah. No, I see that.
But now I have all these pictures of him.
All right.
So if you go to pinside.com.
You're a little bit more toned, too.
If you go to pinside.com and look at the homepage stories, you'll see a story on us.
Okay.
Right at the top. It has a picture of this Hauntcade logo on it and stuff. There's a bunch of pictures of him as Elvira in there. And you can see the videos of him roaming around as Elvira and what he was like in the haunted house. It was amazing.
We're getting
some activity.
Brian says hi to Slurpee.
Hi, Slurpees.
Cash apt done.
Cash is good. I'll take it.
Sarah Beau is the best Elvira. Yeah.
True.
He's
pretty
utterly amazing.
He's everything.
Thanks, Gel D. Milkshake.
I ain't going
Okay. Oh, hey. She's watching. Nice.
I know.
See the families in town.
Yeah.
At our big debut, or not our debut, but just a party follow-up, kinda.
Yeah. Just kind of, a little follow-up, see how you guys are doing, check it in. Check it
See
in.
how he's
Yeah.
lifting weights. I was lifting weights.
Yeah, look at that. You got a
vein.
vein popping through there. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
veiny.
Look at
Yeah.
There's no Budweiser virus here.
So we do have irises for sale at this year's Huntcade.
Yeah.
No, we
Two
do
for
not
one.
have
No.
them. No, we don't have them for sale.
No.
They're not going to be for sale, but we'll have fun regardless. It's going to be disgusting.
Sanitary
Yeah.
napkins.
So, and unfortunately, one of the actors, Alan Cutler, he was supposed to be here tonight.
Yeah.
And he's one of the regular performers.
Yeah. He's
Almost
hilarious.
since the beginning, right?
I think since Motel 1 and 2. We did that. We did a movie with him, and then after Motel 1, was it the first? Was he there before that?
He might have been. He was there for the second one.
He was
I
there for
remember.
the first pinball one. He was at. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Because
So ever since we've been
a
a
bog
pinball.
creature or something like that.
Almost every single one, except for like the one when we went to Chicago, he's been in, which is crazy.
Okay. Yeah. So he's kind of one of your
He's
long time
yeah.
actors, along with Tom and now Beau.
Yeah, and then we have a new guy named Chris. Chris is amazing.
Okay,
And he
cool.
flew out to Chicago to help us set this thing up.
Wow.
So I can't be more thankful than that ever, because
That's
that was
great.
amazing. Because who's going to do that for you, really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
you've got a really solid crew of talent, but setting this thing up, you're executing the performances, because really, just to clarify, it's a haunted house, but you're going through these corridors. Each room has a pinball machine, and the layout, the design of the room is based on the theme of the pinball, as well as the actor, the character that they portray.
Mm-hmm.
Play, win, lose, go on to the next room.
Mm-hmm.
That's the haunted house.
That's a haunted house. But what's cool, and people don't realize until they go to it, that it's like an evening of that, because it's not like you just go through it one time and you're done.
Right.
And you go home and whatever. Did I do good? I have no idea. I don't even know what games I just played.
Right.
I let people go through. We let people go through for the whole duration. You can go through over and over and over again until you think that you've gotten all the high scores that you want to get on all those machines. As long as you can keep going through this haunted house, you have an opportunity to get a high score on every game. So it gives people something to do for the whole night. And like when we were in Chicago, some guy commented on that. He was like, "This is awesome, because normally I would come to this show and I would just like wander around, look around, and leave." He's like, "But what's cool about your thing is that we come in and I have like a 4-hour time period to have this really cool experience in this arcade that I had never seen before, and games that I've never played before, and it's just like this cool, weird vibe, and I love it." And he wanted to stay, and I think that's what makes it special, is the fact that it's that way when people go to it.
Right.
They think they're just going to go and they're going to go through it and leave, but no. It's like
Right,
a night. It's like a night, and it's funny, and there's like crazy prizes that I give away.
Oh, good.
And like some of these prizes, like this time we have even like a Sega Genesis Mini.
What?
But to make it fun, we also put in games like Crew Ball for the Sega Genesis, which is a Motley Crue themed pinball game. Which who would have ever guessed that would happen? To even like old classics,
Oh my gosh.
like The Thing on PS2.
What?
Right? So we're giving away all sorts of stuff. We're actually friends with the guys down there at Level 7 Games. They've been helping us promote a bunch. And so I try to get a bunch of their games and give those away as prizes. And then sometimes we give arcade machines away. We gave a full-size arcade machine away at Hyperspace.